Hey everybody, this is Modern Refugee, having my coffee this morning. And thought I'd take a few minutes to discuss some of the problems that I see coming up in the next year, and some of the things that are affecting our local circles here. And the big thing that's on everybody's lips and everybody's minds the biggest thing is inflation. Inflation is really kicking everybody right now. Everybody locally here that I talk to is talking about the price of groceries, the price of energy, the price of fuel, the insurance prices. Everything just continues to go up, and there's a certain amount of anxiety, if not anger, wrapped up in the population because of this. And I don't see this getting any better. I only see this getting worse over the next year. And a certain amount of people have went back a little bit to the older ways. There's a lot more gardening. There's a lot more talk of canning. There's a lot more stuff of like cutting out the middleman, people going directly to the farmers to buy a quarter of beef or a side of beef, this kind of stuff. People are basically doing everything that they can to either make a little bit more money or save a little bit more or spend a little less. And it's affecting the older population quite a bit too, because they're all on fixed incomes. Their ability to earn more is more difficult for them because of their fixed income. But the older ones are a little bit more adept to getting by with less than the younger ones. And a couple other things that people have been talking about, and where there's a certain amount of anxiety. One is the war in Europe. There's a lot of people that are showing a certain amount of concern over this escalating, and most of us, we feel at some point in time it's going to escalate. And I've said this before in other videos where the old timers knew when World War II started in Europe, they knew eventually America was going to get involved with that. And this is sort of how everybody that I know and everybody that I talk to has been looking at this. And only time will tell to find out how that's going to resolve itself. But and then that ties in a little bit with the transition of power, let's put it that way, that may or may not take place next November. And I have always had a certain amount of anxiety around elections, and I don't participate in social media much during those times. I kind of stay in the background and kind of observe everything, because I've often thought over the years that if anything was to take place, if there was any type of problem or whatnot, the time they strike at the transition of power, right? That's the old destabilization stabilization tactic that has been used for many decades. And I could see something like that taking place this time. I can see a certain amount of civil unrest taking place during that period of time, or I can see an escalation while there's some type of civil unrest taking place here. There could be something stirred up, and then an escalation could take place in another part of the world that our leadership would want to respond to, so to speak. So I see storm clouds on the horizon. And the average everyday people like us, what do we do about it? The same thing that we always do. I try to get my medical problems under control and get as much of that taken care of as I can. So medical problems will continue whether or not the world goes to heck or not. So the more of that stuff that I can have taken care of now, when things are fairly decent, I want to get that stuff taken care of. I want to keep my pantry full. I want to keep my bills paid up, because you just never know. You want to have the stuff available to you so you can respond to any local thing that might be taking place. You know, preppers always like to look at the big picture, but I'm going to use a little bit of a meme saying here now. If you can see the big picture, you're not concentrating on your front sight post. If you got the big picture in mind, the smaller things that are directly in front of you might kick your butt while you're out looking at the big picture. So don't neglect small local things that are in your right in front of you when you're out, you know, looking at what's going to happen on the other side of the world. Take care of your local area first. Take care of your family the best you can, and your neighbors. And sometimes we can only control what we can control, and that's usually the local stuff to affect that positive outcome that I've been talking about so much recently. But anyway, this is Modern Refugee. Appreciate all my subscribers out there. Hope you guys got a little information, a little entertainment out of this video here. Just talking about the things and potential problems that I see in the next year and sort of how I look at things. But anyway, you guys have a good one.